NFL playoffs? We're talking about NFL playoffs? You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the NFL playoffs. And the key to you scoring big is betting on them at DraftKings, the number one place to bet touchdowns.
Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. The Manders had a big night, and so did Terry McLaurin, so I'm eyeing his props this coming week. And here's another reason to watch your favorite players crush it in the playoffs. New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Score big during the NFL playoffs with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Jenkins. That's code Jenkins for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Welcome to Jenkins and Jonez on the Volume Podcast.
I scabbed her. I scabbed her. Like, nigga, fuck you guys told you what I did to
her. Welcome to the scogging capital of the world, the Jenkins and Jonez podcast.
The self-scogger himself, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I scogged myself in the toe. I was just telling y'all, I scogged myself in the big toe today. Fucking healed myself, scogged myself in the big toe. Broke the top half of my big toe off. Toes bleeding as shit. Horrible.
Hate to see it, man. Crazy. Hate to see it, man.
Kids thought it was hilarious.
Of course they did. As they should.
They're kids.
Hey, I'll be laughing at them when they hurt themselves. So that, you know what I mean? Yeah, we're all real comfortable with it. I'm like, you know, Vinny's looking over at me. I'm like, you jumping up and down on one foot. You twist your ankle. You want me to feel bad for you, dog?
6'1", jumping up and down on one foot after fucking your toe up, nigga. Of course they're laughing at you. 210, 6'1". I'm laughing at your big ass hopping around on one foot too, nigga.
I mean, you can imagine I let it fly when I hurt myself too. It's just like, what's dad doing right now? As always, Jenkins just hosted by LaJethro Jenkins, aka John.
What's that, Bubbas?
I'm Gardy B, aka Mike.
Motherfucking Mike.
We're missing Tyler today. Thinking about Tyler. Everything's all good, but we'll see Tyler on Sunday. Produced as always by the lovely and talented Jackson Saffon and Josh Rodriguez.
How
you doing?
Since Tyler's not here, which obviously we always wish Tyler were here, but I do feel like it gives us an opportunity to just be little marshmallow puff Southern Californiaites. How are y'all handling the cold snap, bro?
Dude, it rained the other day, which was good, but you know,
I was happy as hell about the rain.
The rain was good, obviously, considering everything. But
yeah. Can I tell you the miracle on the rain was that was gonna be my first team workout with my baseball team, and I set it up at the local junior college because their pitching coach is Vinny's pitching coach. So I had everyone chip in. We were over there for 2 hours. This is gonna be my first time seeing the team. Vinny and I have been counting down to it. We got it in right before the rain, bro. The rain, it was 2 hours. The rain cut off the last 20 minutes, so we just did some whiteboard shit in the clubhouse or whatever, you know. But I was like, this is an omen.
That's some coaching, bro. You hour and a half out on the field. Go inside, do some whiteboard shit, you know what I mean? Do some scheming, figure out some shit, you know what I mean?
I love this.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling you Coach Gardy. Coach Gardy. What's up, Coach? I love that, man. That's
bro, the best part of having kids, honestly, is coaching is youth sports is the most fun shit. And then just refer because I coach baseball with all my homies and we just all call each other coach every time. If I see him at fucking Vaughn's, what's up, coach?
Oh, I think that's a level of dad. I gotta earn that. You know what I mean? You gotta get to that. That's the peak level. You feel me? Yeah.
But it has been it has been chilly as fuck out here, brother. We're 3 for 3 on hoodies, and John's got the fucking beanie on.
Scully on. Yeah.
Guys, it was 7 in New York last week. 7.
We're not talking to you. We're having a moment between the marshmallows over here, bro.
we had one person in the chat saying it's been really fucking cold. We got some Southern California.
It has legitimately been cold. I asked Shar and I go for walks in the evening. I asked Shar to go on a walk with me last night, and she looked at me like I scogged her in the face, bro. She looked at me like, what the fuck did you just ask me?
In that, she looks outside like it's a blizzard. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? In that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No, man. I honestly haven't.
She pulled a phone out, John. She pulled a phone out to be like,
what's the temperature been like at
40,
night?
she was like, it was 48 degrees. You want me to go for a walk right now? And I'm like, we can just put jackets on. Like, I like it when it's cold and clear. That's like my favorite, like mountain weather. That's my favorite weather.
Right after the rain.
I'm the Shar in my household. If it's cold or if it's lightly drizzling, I'm like, bro, I'd lived 18 years in a light drizzle. I don't need to go on a walk right now.
I don't know. It hasn't felt. I mean, I'm still emptying the trash in my shorts and shit, so it hasn't been cold. Like I feel like this has been warmer than normal. Am I tripping? Maybe because it hasn't rained as much. The rain makes it feel colder than it actually is. So yeah, it is.
I think that's literally. I think that is literally true. But yeah, no. I mean, it's cold. It's at least in Long Beach and we're coastal, obviously. But it's been down into the 30s overnight.
Oh yeah,
here it's fucking cold.
Yeah, it's like mid low 40s overnight where I am.
Yeah.
It's about 48 is where I've seen it at. You know,
anytime it hits 30s. Anytime it hits the 30s, that's cold no matter where you are. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I know it's colder in other places.
Feels like -2.
Yeah.
7 and feels
look.
like
all right. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Josh.
Josh, you're right.
Brick as
You're
fuck
right.
out
That's
here.
it. You never
Fucking New York tough. It's cold as fuck. Go ahead,
bro. Like,
big
bro,
guy over there.
But Josh, 30 here is cold. Like it
know,
feels
it is.
cold.
30's crazy
for whatever
Cali.
reason. You know what I'm saying? So
it is.
But 7 is insane. That's like no humans should not have to deal with that.
They don't.
Like I feel like when it gets over 100, like 100 degrees, and when it gets like under like 15, like this is not the Jurassic era or the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the Ice Age. Why are we dealing with these things? We're humans. Switch up, Earth. You feel me?
I love how like my weather app said feels like -2. In my head, I'm like, that is motherfucking. It's -2. It's not 7. It's -2.
Yeah,
it feels like -2.
Exactly.
I've also been saying that the weather apps need to incorporate feels like in the sunshine versus feels like in the shade. Dramatically different. Like it's like a 10-degree here, especially. But anywhere. It's like if you're
New York, when you're in the shadow of the fucking buildings, it's 30 degrees colder.
It's freezing.
Really?
Then you get to the park and you're like, oh, I could picnic right now.
I do think in New York, because the buildings are so tall, I do think there's something to like asphalt and concrete and stuff. They soak the heat up, and I think there's something to if you're in those areas where like during the winter the sun's too shallow to even get over top of it. It's like. You can just put your hand on the ground and it's fucking yeah.
But I want to feels like sun and feels like shade. Get on it.
In St. Louis, it's just like hot everywhere. You feel me? But we ain't got no big ass buildings. You know what I'm saying? Like New York, like that. So yeah, it makes.
Would you agree with me about that in Manhattan at least, Josh? Like,
yes.
Okay, for sure.
100%.
See, look at that. I got some New York, huh? I can say it's fucking brick out here. The Southern
brick.
California pussies.
Mad brick. It's mad brick.
Mad brick.
All right. Let's talk about there was a trend lately of talking about like quiet quitting. What would we say Jimmy Butler is doing? Is this just regular quitting, or is there a spot on the dial that's like loud quitting? That's like more aggressively quitting than just actually quitting. What is Jimmy Butler doing right now, John?
He's walking out of practice. I would think this is loud. Missing flights, nigga. Like, bro, come on, G. Like, this is extremely loud, bro. I feel like I get why he'd be frustrated. You know what I mean? But how are you setting yourself up for the future? Who the fuck wants that 35-year-old? You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to make more money with this extension. Well, you're losing money right now. You know what I mean? You can't, like, it's suspended indefinitely without pay, my nigga. That's crazy. Like, that's a lot of bread. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? How much money you make, millions of dollars lost is a lot of money. You know what I mean? So I wonder what the end goal is. Like, is he just like, fuck it, like moving out from emotion? But like, you're not going to win this with Pat Riley, bro. They're going to get your value. They're not just going to ship you the fuck off. You know what I mean? And like, I'm looking at Jimmy like, yo, what are you doing and why are you doing this? And how does this get you closer to where you want to be? And it just doesn't seem like the decisions he's making is doing that. You know what I'm saying, for him. So I don't know, but this is loud as a motherfucker though.
I was going to say he hasn't actually yelled the words "I'm quitting," so it's probably like whisper yelling quitting. But he's doing it very loud. It does feel a little bit like a
I actually think
plotline.
I'm sorry, Jay. I would say like I think walking out of practice is actually louder than this. Lots of dudes saying I'm quitting who like continue to practice and play hard. Walking out of a practice as a pro is crazy.
That's great.
Not going to practice is not as loud as walking out of a practice. if you just didn't show up, that's quieter than me than you like in the middle of practice just leaving.
I want you to watch my ass. I want you to see my ass leaving practice.
Leaving this practice, bro. But for me, I'm also like, yo, I know fuck Pat Riley, whatever. You can feel the way you want to feel about that, right? But like your teammates, like, gee, I know you gave this franchise a ton, but like, yo, y'all, these are your homies. The way y'all talk and move.
Right. Like, and he talks about, or he used to at least talk about them in a way that was very like, these are my brothers. Don't fuck with my shooters. Don't mess with Bam. Don't do nothing. And now he's like, sorry.
Fuck him. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like. That's what it comes across as. I don't know. It's not a good look. I do understand where he's coming from. I understand the emotion of it. I feel like, you know, he's given the franchise enough where he should deserve a particular amount of a treatment. But like Tyler spoke to, this franchise doesn't do that. And it just is what it is. And this is a bad look for you. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what else is going on. So
it really is like the Curb Your Enthusiasm spite store, though. It's just like a face-off. Who is going to spite each other harder? Who's going to be pettier for longer?
And who's going to win that?
I mean, I don't know. It's like Jimmy could just sit the whole.
I will say it's two worthy combatants.
Very worthy.
But the thing is like, this isn't going to, I mean, it might actually, this might.
We're only like a week and a half from the deadline, by the way.
For sure. I think something's going to be, a decision's going to be made by the deadline. He'll be out of there.
I assume
they're going to get their
he'll be out of
for
there.
Sure.
But like, if he's not out of there, if Pat Riley wins the petty off and is like, I'm not trading you, then what happens? Do they just keep him suspended for the rest of the year? Or do they like say maybe come back? Like, what do you do in that case?
Do you think that team is in the same spot regardless of if he's playing or not? Like this year?
With the effort he's putting on the court, and like the one time he played again when he came back, like he was like playing at half speed. So kinda, yeah.
They're a playing team regardless, at best. You feel me? Like, so I don't know how they'll lose. Maybe Star's not wanting to go there, seeing how they're treating Jimmy. You know what I mean? But like in the immediate, I think Jimmy loses. You know what I'm saying? So
I do think in the immediate he's definitely losing both literally a lot of money but also I do think they need to resolve it. They need to move him before the deadline, and I think Pat Riley at the end of the season needs to say, "Hey, I had a great career in a lot of different ways, and it's time to hang him up because this is bad for them as a franchise
for sure."
He operates with look. There's some Republican round ball in it, so we don't talk too much about like these guys are supposed to be pros. Like we don't really do that on our show. But we were talking to Tyler and I were talking to Chris Long before we went live about. I said, "Do you have the same feeling that all of the NFL guys I know have about NBA players?" And he was like, "Yes." You know, like just like if you're under contract, man, like you're under contract and you're paid pretty well to like just fundamentally do your job. And it is not this era though for Pat Riley to be acting like Pat Riley. Like his era is no longer the current
for sure
sports world.
This is not people don't do business like that with these athletes, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like fuck all the, you know, for me it's like, yo, these are your teammates. You're letting them down. Like for me to look, you know, people in the eye that I went to, war with, you know what I'm saying, for like years. They're supposed to be the homies and me like walk out on them in practice. I feel like I'm looking at him different if that's a homie. Like, come on, bro, you doing this to us? You feel me? Like that.
But in the pros and in college and in high school, that era is over too. And it's not that guys don't care about their teammates, but like my Instagram is filled every day with college football players transferring and all of their former teammates being like, "Go be great, bro." Like, you know, like that's just it is just not the world where you're like, we're all in this together. This is our locker room, you know. And again, there's some Republican round ball in it, so we don't really talk about it. I do think we lose something with that because that was part of what was fun about sports. I don't give that much of a fuck about the laundry. You connect with the players and the, you know, everything else, right? Yeah. But we are losing that, and I mean I think in some ways it's healthier for sure. I like obviously player empowerment. I'm pro player empowerment in every way, but. It's definitely weird when like we see this in high school, kids transfer into rival schools and their teammates like, for sure, go get them. You know what I mean? You're just like, bro, we would have jumped you. We would have jumped you. Like, you know what I mean? You transferred to that school.
It would have been fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like it would have been fuck you at least a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we could be cool off the court, outside of school, you know what I'm saying? But like, there's a little bit of like, I can't wait to cook your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it just seems like there's just not that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's just less of it. I wouldn't say none of it, but it's just, there's less of it. And I'm sure that that's what Jimmy's going through too. I'm sure that Tyler Hero is texting him about Pat Riley's a fucking asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it. If I was in a situation, I would feel the same type shit. And good for them. I just, in 10th grade, I got 18 in a game, and the coach got in my ass and told us to go to practice at 6 a.m. and I quit. I played again the next year, but I was like, bitch, I was a leading scorer on both sides. I was fucking cooking. Them niggas lost, and you say
you check the box score on the other team too.
I just nigga, that's how much.
How did your team respond to that?
I remember my homie Cody, who actually lived down the street, who's my nigga, we was hooping together. He was like, but bro, what about us? But I'd already quit at that point. And it fucked me up. You know what I mean? I'm like, what about my niggas? I was thinking about me. Like, bitch, you say I quit, nigga, fuck you. I was out here, scogging niggas. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you guys. What you talking about? So after that, I kind of thought differently. You know, I was 16 at the time. I'm just like, I'm the center of the universe. So I was like, yeah, well, so I'm looking at it probably from that. It's probably some personal shit. But yeah,
it also probably depends player to player.
And it's not business either. So
it also probably depends player to player, though. Like, I bet Bam, he has not said anything publicly on either side of it. I bet he is like the other guy who is supposed to be carrying the team is like, dude, where are you, bro? Meanwhile, Kevin Love can do the Instagram thing, and it's hilarious because Kevin Love, it's part of the reason why it's hilarious, though, because he's not playing. If he was playing 35 minutes a night, right, it would it would feel different. It would feel different if he was playing 30 minutes a night. Now it's hilarious what he's doing. But Bam, it's like,
I mean, Kevin Love is he's doing color commentary.
Right.
Like, he's just like, you know what I mean? Like, he's
just vibing, bro.
Yeah,
he's just there for the vibes. He's a vibes dude.
But I do think that's part of what I was talking about with Pat Riley. But that's the Heat. They have the vibes guy. They're gonna give Kevin Love. They're gonna give Udonis Haslem that contract. And I do think that what how public this is, the way the press releases are worded, I think that's eroding that part of their image among players. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's tough to be the player first cultured team and also unless you don't want it exactly on our terms team. Like,
yeah. They'll give you the vet contract, but if you want that bag, you know what I'm saying? Nigga.
Yeah.
It's not happening. You know what I'm saying?
All right. I apologize.
He's getting paid $50 million this year, next year, though. So
I mean, again, like, this is the thing about it, right?
100 M's in 2 years. How do you, God damn. I'm starting to feel like them niggas on Twitter.
I know, bro.
Play $100 million. Why are you complaining? Nigga, I'm like,
it's $4 million a month, bro. You take a month
in
off,
this
like
economy.
You said, that's $4 million.
In this economy,
you can buy 3 dozen eggs with that $4 million, bro.
A game check would change my life right now, nigga. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, what the fuck is crazy?
That's how you really get the public on your side, actually, is Jimmy flips this and goes, I'm going to show up to every game, but I'm not going to try at all, and every single dollar of my check is going to the community. You know, that's how you flip it on its head.
It's interesting. It's kind of like our politics. The whole thing is to an extent built on shame. Like if you're shameless, you actually could kind of do whatever. You know what I mean? If you really don't give a fuck about the money, you're just like, I want to embarrass my boss so bad, I don't give a fuck about anything else. What are they gonna do, bro? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? They can't they're just gonna suspend you indefinitely, and that's it. Like, and now you both looking kind of stupid.
Yeah, everybody dumb. Everybody dumb. Yeah, it's not a good look.
John, I apologize that this is on the topic list, but I do feel like we have to talk about the Lakers, and I do feel like the Lakers
fucking
look
dragging
good, bro.
Nuts. You know what I mean? And it's 6 out of 7.
I feel like they look good, bro. Yeah, and I saw I saw the stat last night when leading at halftime. JJ Redick is like 12-1 or something like that. 6-0 on the road, bro. We might have a coach and the 2 stars, and we might have the role guys, bro. We might really be one trade away, John.
When they they have those moments. Like last night, they had they was cooking first half. But when they are playing well, they can do this for 3.5 quarters. How about that? 3.5 quarters. You know what I mean?
Let's be reasonable.
Yeah, let's be reasonable. It's a game of runs, and everybody get knuckleheadish at times. That's normal.
Yeah.
But when that ball is moving and zipping around, you feel me? And the shots AD is hitting right now, the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, and they're fun. And
yes.
I did think I would say this has been fun to watch as well. So, yeah, man, like, I think they're worthy of talking about. I think, AD has been playing fucking 40 and 20.
Yeah, like 42, 23 last night, I believe.
Yeah,
I texted you. He had 21 and 11 in the first quarter.
Yeah, he was cooking. That first quarter was crazy. Like the other commentators were, the Charlotte commentators were like, yes. You know what I mean? Like, 11 in a row. That's to stop sometime. You know what I mean?
The Hornets commentators are my favorite league pass. Like, yes. Anytime someone I want to watch is in Charlotte, I always watch the
Hornets in Sacramento. Hornets in Sacramento was fun as hell too. Their league pass, yeah, they're fun as hell. But yeah, so yeah, man, they're looking good. They're looking good, G. You know what I'm saying? There be some good squads on the way there too. Beat Jackson's Celts, brother.
The Celtics game was the one where I started texting people again. Like,
how you feeling? How you feeling? Tell me. Let's talk about it.
Me?
How you feeling? Yeah.
I think they're good. I mean, I really do. I think that they're good, and I think that I actually really like seeing AD apply some pressure on the Lakers organization and saying, like, I think we are one big away. And I feel like I play best at the 4. I don't know that I agree with him about that.
Statistically, he doesn't, but the numbers aren't that far off. He just likes playing the 4. Less banging. Also, he gets to roam a little bit more. That's his game. He has a game for it.
But when he has games like the game against the Hornets, you're like, yeah, I see why, I mean, and he's looking at, as these shooters are starting to develop and they have the coach for that, it's more room to roam. So I mean, and I think you see Braun kind of activated again. Like, I think the other thing is this, respectfully to the Thunder, et cetera, et cetera. If you're the Lakers, like, I understand when the Nuggets were like right at the peak, you're like, do we want to go all in on this year? What are you looking at in the West that you're that afraid of if you're the Lakers?
Right.
And I'm not saying I think they're a better team than the Thunder. They're not a better team, but
no, yeah.
You're not looking at them going, it would be bad business to try. I mean, they shouldn't be, at least, right? Like, it feels to me like a West that they could make noise in and potentially advance out of. Now, I don't think they're beating the Celtics. I don't think they're beating the Cavs in a 7-game series. But it's not to me like they're in a spot where it wouldn't make sense to go all in. And so, like we always talk about with Braun, bro, like what he's doing right now should not be happening. So as long as it's happening, you have to take full advantage of that, in my opinion. And I mean, I thought they should have pulled the trigger, a while ago. But at this point, it's pretty clear what they need. And so, I got all excited because I saw they sat like 4 dudes last night, and I thought maybe we'll see they play again today. We'll see. The availability is not out, but I don't know, man. I'd like to see him go. I mean, obviously as a fan, I'd like to see him go all in. I mean, I just would, it's going to make me feel less dumb.
What kind of moves would you guys like to see? Like, I know the rumors right now, there's some Jonas Valanciunas rumors, some Nick Vucevic rumors, some Walker Kessler / Colin Sexton rumors. There's like a bigger, like if they move Rui, maybe they get Miles Turner rumors. Like what?
I know Kessler's the one all the Laker fans I know.
Everybody wants Walker.
Everybody wants
Kessler, Walker. Yeah.
I think Valanciunas on this team, I think that's a really interesting proposition, bro. I think that's really interesting to bring that level of toughness and to take some of that load off AD. I don't know. But I mean, everything you just said sounds great to me. What do you think, John? If you could pick one option, you want Walker?
I think I'm leaning Valanciunas too. I think I'm leaning that way too. I get where everybody wants Walker Kessler. I think I'm leaning Valanciunas. I want to know from you, how far are you away from the lie, though? Because I feel if they get him,
I already think
might be close to line. I might be close to lying to myself.
Walker Kessler is
Valanciunas.
Oh, Valanciunas is needle moving.
Yeah.
I think so.
For me, yeah.
Because it's just a roster thing right now, man. It's just like, because I mean, like we've all watched basketball long enough. I love Jackson Hayes. Like, I'm not looking at Jackson Hayes like playoff difference maker. Like, they just the roster's not balanced correctly. You know what I mean? So so to me, I do think that you get another guy that could be a guy. Like, I'm kind of already there in terms of look at what they're like. I'm there because I believe in the coach now. I mean, that's a big thing. Like, I already believed in Braun and AD. The role players I have more faith in. I do think there was, I mean, I'll just say it, and I like D'Lo. I think there was a lot of addition by subtraction with the D'Lo. I just like the way they play.
I mean, Austin Reeves has been amazing since D'Lo.
Yes.
Austin Reeves
fun
is
to
good.
watch them.
He
is
bro.
good, dude.
Yes. And it's fun to watch them. And that, I mean, if you've seen JJ Redick's comments, he's talking about them like, we've got our three guys. We got Braun, AD, and Austin Reeves. And now and JJ Redick saying, like, I hope the way they're playing is convincing people this is a team worth investing in. I mean, like, you know, he's being smart, being on the player side of that as well. But like, I guess I'd put it like this. I don't know what else you would want to see to convince you that it was worth doing. They haven't just been beating up on bum teams. What's that?
How y'all feel about Vucevic?
Jackson? No.
I think he's good, but like I think defensively it's pretty tough. You got to hope that AD's like making up for a lot of the defensive.
I mean, that's the guy that you'd want. I mean, that's his thing.
No,
it's a big part of his game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and he's efficient as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, he's been doing this for what? I mean, averaging 20 for how long? You know what I mean? Since he was playing with the Orlando Magic.
Yes, but I think the thing to me is that he's also comfortable with a role, and that, I mean, that's the one thing I would say about the team. It can't be a like sign Russ type of a Lakers swing for the fences where it's like, oh, we have to completely redo this. It's like you can see what makes the team good. Everyone's comfortable in their roles. That you need to take a step forward, not take it apart and rebuild it. That's how I feel about it.
At a point, he was doing what he's doing now with two stars. You know what I'm saying? With the Bulls when they were good. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so he finds a way to get what he needs without, you know, impeding upon others, you know. Like, he doesn't need the ball a lot to get it done. You know, and I don't know, man. I'm kind of high on him.
Yeah.
In this situation.
I'm already kind of believing the lie though. I just, you know, that's my
I was wondering where you're at because it seemed like you was really close to saying it, but I think they make this they make a move, get a solid big. We'll see how it goes. I'd be pretty close to it. You know what I mean?
It is crazy that they're tied in the loss column for the 4 seed right now and are only 2 games back of the Memphis Grizzlies, who are good, but who knows how good they are for the 3 seed. Like, that's
and at their peak, like when they're playing really well, they like to beat anybody. Yeah, it's just being more consistent. Denver, where they play. No, I mean they play halves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue. Like, if they're playing 4 quarters,
I watch a lot of Nuggets games, bro. The Nuggets play some dumb basketball sometimes. Like I know they get up. I know they have a real franchise thing for the Lakers.
They kind of
No, I mean, that's emotional. I mean, they like Michael Malone really likes beating the Lakers.
Yeah, for sure.
Really likes beating the Lakers.
I'm sure if you gave Jokic truth serum, he would be like, yeah, going at AD and kicking AD's ass every time feels pretty good.
It for sure. But when I watch, and I do watch the Nuggets because of Peyton, but like they play a lot of. That's not the Nuggets team that you were afraid of, and they might still dog walk the Lakers every time they play them. But you don't look at that team like the Lakers could just never, with any amount of moves, they could never surmount the Denver. It's just not that.
Nah, for sure. And I do think, you know, as it is every year, the playoffs will always be very matchup dependent. Like if you're the 5 seed going to the Nuggets, you're in a tough spot. If you're the 3 seed hosting the Clippers, you're probably winning in 5 or 6. Like it's very matchup dependent, I think.
And the West it's going to be fun. I mean, post All-Star break is going to be really fun this year. It's going to be a fucking war for 3 through 7 might be switching every night, you know, like in the run up to the playoffs. So yeah.
Since you watch the Nuggets, like I've been hearing about Westbrook playing. I don't watch the Nuggets at all. You know what I mean? But like, hear about Westbrook playing really well over the last
makes me really happy
or whatever.
Yeah.
What's been different? He's been, you know,
they just
as far as his approach.
It's how they're using him to me. I mean, I think he still plays the same way. And that was the issue with the Lakers, was that they could not adapt to who he was. They wanted the change to be from Russ, right? You know what I mean? Like, we want you to play this way. Russ is Russ, and he's a Hall of Fame level player. So you should not be looking at him going, right? There's just not a lot of bronze that are like, I'll play this way this year and this way the other year. Most guys, it's like AD, like we've been talking about with AD. He's going to play the way he plays, bro. Mm-hmm. And he's a Hall of Famer. So how are you going to go to him as a coach, especially a first-year coach, whatever, and go, it's not working for you? You know what I mean? It was working for him when he had
better
one
at
offer.
the 5. You know what I mean? Like,
it was working for him when he had one offer when he was 16 years old.
yeah.
And it was one sports writer down here in Long Beach at the Press Telegram who was calling coaches on his behalf, like, this motherfucker can go. Right? He had that level of faith in himself. So how are you when he's won MVP? He's done all these historic things. You're going to go to him and say, really want you to be a 3-point shooter now.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. So Michael Malone, I mean, I think, and Liv Mood's a friend of the show, who's been on the show before, actually, I think was one of the only people I saw, but I felt the exact same way when they signed him. This is what the Nuggets do. They have their star player is more accommodating to how other people want to play than really any other star player out there, except maybe Braun. But they also have a coach that's like, oh, we'll take a dude who can get to the rim at 100 miles an hour. That's fine.
We'll find a place for him.
Yeah. But and also I think he, with some of the kind of emotional inconsistency maybe of Jamal Murray, I think that Russ's, the steadiness of the way he plays, of you just know what it's going to be every position. Yeah. I think I felt good about the fit when it happened, but it's fine. As someone who's
kind of rough starting off, and Liv was kind of like,
yeah,
I know I said what I said, but maybe I shouldn't have. But yeah. So.
I mean, it's just rough starting off because it's so different. It's just that, I mean, how many basketball players play like him in the history of the NBA at the speed that he plays at? It's not very many, you know. Yeah. But I think, you know, they've adjusted. They like I said, they're still a flawed basketball team in a lot of ways. But as a Russ fan, I know we were all sick with the way it went in LA. I'm just like happy being able to watch him playing like meaningful, good basketball, and he's clearly enjoying himself quite a bit too. Like, you know, he's coming to the games with his nails done pink and purple because his girls were painting his nails before the game and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's good, bro. Yeah.
I've only seen the clips, but it seems like he's enjoying himself, and that's just what I want from Russ. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Good for him, man.
All right. I got a high school basketball story for y'all. I don't know if you saw this. Have y'all ever heard of Nick Kachikian of Mesrobian High School?
Man.
Nick Kachikian scored 102 points in a high school basketball game in a 119-25 win to set a new California state record. His brother tied the national record for high school with 35 assists in the game, which also broke the state record, which had been 31 previously. Did
he like make like 25 threes? Like, how did he do this?
Did not make a lot of 3-pointers.
They're the worst basketball team ever assembled. Like,
the team that they're
the
playing,
other team. They I'm talking about, and I ain't here to shit on kids.
No. We need an explanation.
There's actually 100 worse ranked high school basketball teams in Southern California than that team, but they are ranked, I believe it's 455 out of 550 something teams.
Got it.
I'm talking about wide open shots hitting the top of the backboard. Like, these are not good basketball players, right? And Chuck, you know what I'm saying? He coached against them, and he's talking about like how bad this team is. And he basically took every shot. The dude, 100 points, great. All right? 102. But is he like that though, Mike?
No, he's a mid-major offer. I believe Cal State Fullerton out here is the only offer he's got. He's 6'2". I would say this, shout out to the Armenians. I didn't know the Armenians had choppers like this, 102 points. And actually, someone else at this school, which is it's an Armenian school, Mesrobian, someone else scored 80 there a couple years ago, probably against the same opponent. Probably.
Yeah. We're gonna set this up. You get every shot. We're gonna see how many you can get. You know what I mean? Type shit.
I like a coach who just lets it fly. Hey, if that was my coach, I would have put up 100, bro.
I have a so you don't fuck with it because you feel like because he's not better. You feel like it's disrespectful to put that.
Not just.
Up.
I mean, I don't care as much.
Yeah, of course,
I'm just not impressed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the team he played were you know how you have somebody guarding you, and it's like, this motherfucker might as well not be here. That's the whole team.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, I can do whatever the fuck I want with you in front of me.
Yeah.
That's the whole team. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we're gonna feed you the ball and just keep doing what you do. That's cool, but it's like really, like against this squad, it's just not impressive to me when it's just a bunch of bums. You know what I mean? And the dude can't even bang, bro. Like he tried to dunk and got hung type shit.
Yeah.
You know, he ain't really a guy, you know, so like good for him. I wasn't a guy in high school either. I would tell this story to every mother. I would be stopping talking to squirrels. Bitch, you know I got 102 in high school, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get it. And I really would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
like
many points.
it's so many points. But like at the same time, like me watching this, like I'm thinking I'm gonna see like, you know what I'm saying, Derrick Rose, nigga, 102, the fuck?
Right. It is tough because especially now in the video era, it's like, oh, I had 102 in high school. Really? You got video?
Zero highlights.
And it's
Not
like,
a single
we don't
highlight.
need to show the video. I think my homie has it. Like, I don't even, you know what I mean? Like,
he don't even want to watch that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's
like,
not, how cool is it when people ask, you know?
It ain't how he pulling up, chopping. None of that shit.
Right.
It's not like there's nothing like, you know what I'm saying? Like 102 is a crazy amount of points, but it's like when I'm watching, I'm like,
It's interesting because this is following the same pattern these stories always do. There's a lot of sportsmanship talk and controversy around it. Of
I don't give a fuck about none of that.
No, I know
honestly,
you
bro.
don't, but the principles that the schools do, right? He scored 102. It's worth noting in 22 minutes of game time.
Yeah.
Because high school games in California are 32 minutes. It's 4 8-minute quarters, and he only played 22 minutes of the game, and they took him out after he got. I mean, they had him in to get 100, and he got 100. Most of it is layups, going right by a traffic cone and getting a layup. Like, his brother got the 35 assists.
35 assists rocks.
Here's
35 assists is crazy. It's fire. It's fire to be able to say that.
Here's my thought though. Yeah, but see, here's the thing, and this is where I always find high school sports so interesting. Is it fire to say that kid broke a national record for assists? You think of all the point guards who played high school basketball in the United States of America. That kid's got 35 assists. Is that good for basketball? Is that good for the kid? I think
it's good for the kid. I think it's good for the kid.
I think it's good for the kid. I don't think the kid knows who he fucking played. That's why Jackson, like, you want to show the tape. Nobody's gonna show that tape off. You know what I mean? Right. But like for basketball, like, I'm not really excited about that. You know what I mean? Right. It does seem like you're cheating the game a bit when you're taking records from people that earn that type of shit. But like, I mean, Rose playing against these kids was not fair from jump, nigga. Like, everybody was a traffic cone to him. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, he had his Derrick Rose moment. He took advantage of that shit. You know,
sometimes you just get the exception to the rule. Like Corey Brewer has 50 on like 20 runouts. Like,
but he got 50 on in an NBA game.
No, I know, but I'm different. But like, it's cheaper than some of the other 50s because he's like half of them were runouts. Like,
yeah.
And it's cheaper, but he still got it.
Played hard to get that 50.
I understand.
What's that got 52? What's your boy Miller? You know what I'm saying? Like, from, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not Reggie Miller, but you know what I'm saying? The point guard. Andre Miller. You know what I mean? He got a 50 ball too. Like, weird 50. Brewer's the weirdest 50 ever, potentially. You know what I mean? But I mean, he earned that 50 against NBA players.
I think in the NBA, all good. In college, if you're playing another Division I team, all good. If you're running it up on an NAIA, fuck off. Okay. Sure. Here's the problem with doing this in high school. There are 100 worse teams just in Southern California than the team that they beat. So is that what it's going to be? It's going to be you schedule the 20 worst teams in Southern California. But that's what they did in this game, right? Like, that's what they did. We're going to get him 100. Well, I mean, like, Polly's got a dude over here, Giovanni Ruff, who's approaching our city record. He's going to Cal. He's never scored more than 30 in a game. He's approaching the city record, like, because they don't schedule. And he's
going to get to go to Cal, though, and he's going to get to like be a high-level college basketball player.
This kid's going to go to Fullerton. He's going to go where his talent takes him. Everyone has that ability, right? But like so that's the part of it I don't like. What is
your stamp in a place you shouldn't even be?
I think you were the Republican round ball meter. I mean, like a little too far today, guys. I don't know.
I mean, but this dude took LaMelo Ball off the all-time state record.
A lot of LaMelos were kind of dumb though.
That wasn't impressive either. But
that's what I'm saying.
So LaMelo scored 92 in a game though that was 146 to 123.
Yeah, but
it's cooler.
Jackson's also right. It's cooler, but it's just cooler because of it's LaMelo Ball. Because I mean, even like it's just cooler because it's LaMelo.
I'm not saying it's not cooler to have 92 in a 20-point game than 100 in it.
Was just like cherry picking. That you don't that take. I watched.
I mean, LaMelo made more threes in that game though than this kid probably.
For sure. But how he ran it up was a ton of cherry picking.
But that was also their offense, and they won a fucking national title off the offense. So like and they weren't doing it to kids that don't know how to tie their shoes. They were doing it to a team that scored 120 points.
I think the sanctity of the record.
That was the way they played. And there were a lot of people who disliked the way they played, but that was the way they played. It was, and that's how we're getting down court to shoot a three. They weren't even playing defense. If you're going to take a layup, cool. We're going to go get three. And they had Lonzo, LaMelo, and LiAngelo, who was a fucking good basketball player. LiAngelo scored 50 and 60 in a game.
That's a chopper, bro. Had that thing on everywhere he went.
But I do the thing I guess I want to say. I'm not really against this. I think we would all be against everyone trying to do this all the time against basketball teams, which is you know, as someone who covers kids, I do think about that.
I'll say this: if he gets 100 again against a crappy team in this fashion,
so why is that worse than doing it?
Because he did the thing. He did, and now you don't need to do the thing again.
But I guess that's my point. Is like, what is the thing worth? But to your point, because I was going to bring up LaMelo, and it's actually, this is always it's a really hot topic on the girls' side of the game at the high school level. We have a coach in Long Beach.
Because the disparity is pretty
disparity. But we have a dude, Carl Buggs, who's won 7 state championships out of Long Beach Poly High School. Probably the best coach of any sport that I've ever been around. If his teams, and they routinely beat league opponents 90-something to 8.
Yeah.
When his teams get to 90, you're going to dribble that clock out, brother. He has never hit 100 points as a team in one of those games. And I asked him, and he's like, I'm not trying to get fired, man. He's like, I know it's a big difference between scoring 99 and scoring 101. And you can play the game the right way. You put the backups in. The backups are playing hard the way you want them to play. But he's like, there's certain lines you just have to be really careful about crossing or not. And so to do that so like gleefully, like, oh, we're going to really beat up on these these kids that can't hit the rim, bro. Like, you know, the kids probably didn't even feel bad about it. They probably felt like he was being kind of weird. Like, congrats, I guess. Like,
right. Bro,
you scored 100 on us. Like, way to go, I guess.
We trash. You know, like, I'm talking about wide open.
Right.
Shooting it. I'm talking about the shot looked like he had a hiccup in that motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he had to wind that bitch up off the back. It was weird. Like, he had a glitch in it. Like, I'm telling you, the dudes were really, really bad. He was like dogging out. You know what I mean?
But I guess I say this fundamentally, and I actually would love to hear the chat's opinion on this. Fundamentally, it's what Jackson said. It's about how good of a player do you turn into? Because LaMelo Ball, he's a fucking NBA All-Star. He scored 92 points in a high school game. You don't need to hear any more context. Lisa Leslie, people talk, Lisa Leslie scored 100 points. They don't need to hear more context. Here's the context on Lisa Leslie. Lisa Leslie's team, Morningside High, was playing a school that the coach didn't like. And he said, Lisa Leslie's going to embarrass this team. She scored 100 points in the first half of the game. The other team quit. The other team did not come out at halftime. They were a trash basketball team. And Lisa Leslie's coach was fired for having her run up 100 points to embarrass the other team on purpose. Cheryl Miller also scored 106 in like one half of a basketball game or 3/4 of a basketball game. Those records, the further you get away from them, they just become a part of the player's story. Like Lisa scored 100 points. That's all I knew about that shit until a couple years ago. Someone told me, someone who covered the game was like, it's actually the saddest shit I ever seen when Lisa Leslie scored 100 points.
Yeah. Dude, I remember like the story of Reggie talking about, you know what I'm saying, Cheryl scoring 100. And he was like, you know, how'd you play?
He had 30.
He's like, had 30. You know, he was sitting high. Like, nigga, I was dropping my nuts out there. You know, how many you have? 100. She said it like calmly. Like driving home in the van.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like dropped 100.
But I think
talking about.
But so I think it's like when you're a player who, again, like, and this is nothing against the key. If I had a chance to score 100 points in a basketball game, I don't give a fuck. Of course.
Yeah. As a kid, of course. Yeah.
So
we're not talking about kids, though. We're not
talking about the adult who said, get the ball to this kid so he can score 100 points. Like, it's easy for us, but I also think it's correct to say Lisa Leslie deserved to have a 100-point game in her bag. Cheryl Miller deserved to have a 100-point game in her bag. It's been a ton of great all-time Hall of Fame NBA players who've come out of California. None of them have had 100 points in a game. Do you, going to Cal State Fullerton, deserve to do that to these kids? Because any one of those dudes could have done the same shit, and their coach did not tell them to go and do it. You know what I mean? That was real Republican round volley. I'm sorry.
If you're a guy that could be on the other end of a 100-point game too, because if he ran into a guy,
yeah,
that team could have got smacked. Somebody could have, you know what I mean? Like
there's a lot of old school inner city basketball coaches out here, John. Like schedule us now.
Right.
Schedule us tomorrow because this Robian team also sucks.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So like, if you were going against Lonzo's team, you couldn't drop 90 on them. You're just not going to. They're too good. So I think there's that, which makes it like, but and you're not dropping 100 on Lisa Leslie and none of that. You feel me?
Right.
So if you're a guy that could have been on the ass end of that 100 points, I'm just not. If I'm looking at you and be like, yo, y'all could have got smacked too. You feel me?
Right.
Like if somebody real ran up against y'all, I don't respect it as much. But yeah, like you said, if I'm that kid, I don't give a fuck. It's not my job to give a fuck about that. My job is to get buckets.
Right.
That's what you told me to do. The coach is supposed to step in, and that's really interesting.
Right. It's the coach.
Yeah, for sure.
The chat is a little bit annoyed with Mike for some of these.
That's
takes.
fair.
The last thing I'll say about this is that it's interesting that Mike is like kind of like a history, like a very worldly guy, and he has a bit of a sanctity of the game approach when it comes to records. Like you're like Jokic does not deserve in the history of the NBA 3 MVPs in a row. This kid doesn't deserve to get 100 because he's not the best player out of California history or whatever. And it's just like an interesting like framing of it. I think.
I mean, I
it's not
think
necessarily wrong.
I think part of that is being, I think part of that is being like a local sports writer is like that's the this kid at Poly is going to break this record. He deserves to break the record.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
he's done it the right way.
He was a bucket when he was in 9th grade. It's not a lot. It's a lot of NBA dudes. Like Peyton wasn't a bucket in 9th grade. You know. So
I think I think the kid deserves to have 100. He scored 100. You know what I mean? But I feel like
except there's literally 200 kids in California who could do the exact same thing against that team.
Yes, but I'm saying regardless.
If the coaches didn't have shame in the way that they abuse the lesser team.
But we're talking about deserve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He scored 100. He deserved 100. You know what I mean?
That's basically my take.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like he put forth effort. He did it. The coach gave him the shit aligned, so he dropped 100. You know what I'm saying?
But I think that's the right way to coach the NBA. I feel like that's a wrong way to coach high school.
I think that's the wrong way to coach.
Fair enough.
I think the kid deserves it. It's the wrong way to coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so like,
I think that is totally.
And I also feel like I don't like it for the game of basketball. But as far as what the kid deserves, he deserves that 102. You know what I mean? Regardless if I look at him like this ain't impressive. Who gives a fuck what I think? Nigga?
That was great collective, arriving at the right place, I think.
Okay, cool. We reeled it in. We figured it out. You know what I mean?
All right. Did y'all see the clip that the Herd put up of Colin criticizing the Bills tush push?
I didn't see it.
This shit cracked me up. I want to read the exact quote.
Did he use the hand motion?
He didn't use the hand motion,
did he?
But they did call it the tush push, which I appreciated. He said, comparing the Bills version of the tush push to the Eagles's, he said, it looks disorganized. It looks ad-libbed. And I appreciate that he's saying they're not as good at pushing on tushes, bro.
That's a fun ass take. You know what I'm saying? Let's get serious about tush pushes. Let's break down the tush push and see who's better at pushing tushes. You know what I mean? And hey, one team's better and one's more organized. I respect this tush push better than the other tush push. I respect that take.
I also think that we deserve credit as I feel like we got to be the first podcast or any platform to use the phrase anatomy involving tush push. So I think the anatomy of the tush push in Philly is different than the anatomy in Buffalo, you know?
Yeah. And we're the first one to do the thumb too. I'm confident of that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing though. I'm not really proud of the thumb motion. I'll be honest with you. It's me. You know what I mean? I did it. You know, it's the life I've lived. You know,
you're saying it's a here. You're not sure if it's here or here.
it's a here, but it's how I live my life. You know, I have to, approach. It's my truth, guys. You feel me?
All right. Speaking of tush pushes, the song Fat, Juicy, and Wet, gentlemen.
Oh God,
I have
really?
not. It's been a while since I had so many people tweet at me asking us to talk about something. Jackson and John have both partaken of the Fat, Juicy, and Wet music video. John, your thoughts?
It's a mess. It's a mess. It's bad music. I think sex that's messy is good. I think songs that are messy are bad. You know what I mean? So it's emulating the act of Fat, Juicy, and Wet, but it shouldn't be emulating that in this space. The song is a mess. It's not good. I don't like anything about it. I think it's actually weird. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. The video was just why? You know what I mean? Like what was the I want to see the deck. I want to see the creative process that went into you deciding this, like deciding to put them together to make this song. Like hearing Bruno Mars sing that, I don't need that.
It's not my favorite.
I don't need that. I don't need like that voice singing Fat, Juicy, and Wet. I'm not a what you say. I don't gang bang, but I'm throwing up a sack. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, this is what I'm supposed to like. What? How do you say it? How do you say it, Mike? How do you say it? Say it again, Mike.
Throw up a sack.
Nigga, you from where you from, bro? Does that not get under your skin in a particular way?
Yeah, I didn't like that line, bro. I didn't like that line. There's a lot of people I would have preferred to hear that line come from, for sure.
Yeah. I'm just. Am I supposed to be a fan of this? Are people liking this? I'm not a fan of it though.
I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't real clear to me if people wanted us to talk about it because they're like, "This is the greatest song of all time," or if people were like, "This is horrible. I want your opinion on it." I did not like.
Was it even fun to you? Was it even fun? It's not even a fun song to me. I don't find it fun either. Yeah.
I think maybe this is just personal preference, but like songs that are like that explicit, you don't need a dude in that song, bro. Like, you know what I mean? No. Like, what is Bruno Mars didn't need to be in that song personally.
It did feel very like WAP coded, and that was like done more properly. I feel like, to your point,
that shit was fun.
They made a moment out of WAP. WAP was a moment. This is thirsty. This is like a reach. You know
this feels like the deck was, like you always know you're about to read a bad book if on the back of it it's like it's this meets this with a little bit of this thrown in. It was like that's how you pitch that motherfucker. Like
right.
That's what I feel like when you said when you said you want to see the deck. I feel like the deck was we need a WAP for 2025.
Right.
Who should we pair?
We want to recreate
Sexy
the energy
Red
that was
and, No, we couldn't get him. Bruno Mars. Get Bruno Mars. Like that's what it. I feel like you could kind of feel that process in the song a little bit.
It was very manufactured. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is what it felt like to me, bro. Have you ever like had leftovers? Like when I had no bread. You feel me? Like I didn't have the type of money I wanted. You feel me? And there was leftovers, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to make some shit out of this. You know what I mean? Like we gonna put this together and shit. And it's like. The idea made sense at the time, but in my mouth, this is the worst shit ever. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what it felt like. It felt like they thrown together a bunch of shit that don't mix, and thought like, we're gonna manufacture this hit that WAP. WAP felt really organic. I felt like they didn't go in the studio trying to create a WAP. They was talking about wet ass pussy in a joint, and they made a song about that shit.
Yeah,
you know,
and
what
it
I mean?
Probably was like it probably does have a similar process, but it didn't feel that like it just felt
you
fun.
Think Bruno
and I think
and her
right,
got
and that's and I think that's the reason why it doesn't feel authentic is because
no. What I'm saying is WAP probably similarly like was constructed with some of that type of thought. I'm just saying I never felt that way listening to it.
But with Cardi and like it feels more real. And if it was just Sexy Red, it would have felt a lot more real than with Bruno, who everyone.
I don't believe that the pussy was so good. Bruno Mars threw up a set. I don't believe it.
People are like Bruno Mars is singing. What happened to Catch a Grenade for you, bro? Like this. What happened to you, dog?
Somebody. I mean, that's the thing too. Like if we're gonna be ridiculous. That's cool, you know what I mean? But it can be ridiculous, but it has to be somewhat believable. Like Bruno Mars tooting something up throwing a setup, and like you're just saying shit for like that. I can't even imagine that. Like my imagination is crazy, and it won't be allow me to see him throwing up a set in any situation, bro. Like this ain't the nigga for that line, dog. You feel me? But for me, I don't mind. Like you can manufacture shit, right? Like this person should be with this person to make a hit. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's always done, right? But I don't want to look at something and see the guts, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to see the
right.
like the lines that they drew in order to get, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to see
bring
that.
me into the conference room.
I don't want to see
right.
that. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing white dudes in suits saying this, and this when I'm watching that. When I'm watching the video, like who they Lady Gaga?
That's what I'm saying. Lady Gaga's at the end too. Yeah. Like what are they? What's going on?
Yeah, that's dudes in suits making music, brother, and we don't need that type of shit. It feels like that.
We prefer authentic pussy songs.
This was for sure. This was supposed to be a funner conversation when it got into a bigger issue of artistic.
I
freedom.
I agree with you though, John. It's just it just felt that's how I felt listening to it. It was just like, oh, I could see what they were going for with this. Like,
yeah, and it just did not do that. You feel me? Like, yeah. I didn't need it. I didn't need it. How did the chat feel? Did the chat fucking with it?
No.
Yeah, dude. Was that okay?
The chat agrees.
This whole time I've been were people asking us to talk about this because they love the song?
Okay. There's some Sexy Red's Linsanity run is over. This is
I'm gonna be honest. I'm
from Silk Sonic to this for Bruno.
I'm always rooting for Sexy Red. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It could be that could be a correct statement. You know, I'm not gonna say it.
Right. Linsanity Run is so good. Linsanity Run is so. I love that so much because it's like there's a one-hit wonder, but there's also a one-hit like a 3-week wonder. You know what I mean? It's just like
a one-hit wonder will get you paid. A 3-week wonder that got him a career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that.
He's still hooping, isn't he? He's still hooping overseas, isn't he?
Overseas, probably, yeah. But I mean, he was always going to be a good overseas hooper. Like he could hoop, obviously. But like,
well, you're famous in America, though, brother. That contract looks a little bit different overseas, you know.
For sure. And if you a dog, even if you D1 in America and you don't pan out in the league, that contract look crazy overseas too.
Yeah.
So.
Ebony just said, Bruno is a sap, not a real yearner or ass slapper. He needs to stay in his lane. I think that's
you don't think saps and yearners are like in this? Ask her this. It's just you think sap? I'm talking. Like, why can't I ask? Ebony, you think
someone else said
saps
bingo,
and yearners? You said what?
Someone else
so you
said
think saps and yearners are the same? Are yearners more close to ass slappers than close to, or is it in the middle?
I mean, I think in spirit, kind of, yeah.
I don't know. I was a real yearning ass slapper.
Yeah, so that's my point. That's
but I think like I can be a sap at times too. Like, you know, like listening to R&B, like yearning for something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The chat is saying saps are not yearners.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
I mean, I think there's probably, a Venn diagram there somewhere.
Yeah, it's just smaller in the Venn diagram
I think,
when it comes to saps and yearners than it is with ass slappers and yearners.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So an ass slapper would throw a setup.
So,
you feel me?
And John is trying to say that he fits in that triple Venn diagram. It's the real center part,
Bigger.
Yeah.
I've seen it all. You know what I mean? I've seen all three of those sides.
Miles is saying it's like a square rectangle situation. Some yearners are saps, but all saps are yearners.
Oh, all saps.
Until the manosphere. Was that Ryan? I feel like that was Miles. Okay. I feel like that changed though with this new internet incel shit. I feel like now is some saps who are
fucked
like
the game up.
Who are
it put a lot of shit in the game.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yep. And I think that makes
when we were kids, saps were yearners.
Saps were yearners, and that's yes. That's why I'm speaking from a different generation. Like
I see.
As a high schooler, as a sap, like you know what I'm saying. We weren't like anti as saps, like, but now I hear like. This bit hurt me. I'll never love again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a sap now. You know what I mean? Like that's not like back before I got hurt. I'm gonna work through it. I miss her. I wish she didn't do this, and now I can move on. You know what I mean? There's no hate that comes from.
And now his dudes on the timeline like, I'm not falling for it this Valentine's Day.
Yeah, bro. Somebody changed. Yeah, somebody changed their mind and it ruined you for the rest of your life, bro.
Right.
Drop your nuts.
Pussy.
That's really weak. That's
fucking
really
pussy.
You a bitch. You a bitch.
Yeah,
Tighten
I
up,
agree,
nigga. Like,
bro.
it hurts. Move through it and work through that. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like,
don't be such
it
a
ain't gotta-
pussy. You're afraid to get hurt
And
twice.
she ain't the person. Like, she ain't. I don't think motherfuckers is out here trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like for real, like maybe cheating on that shit, but motherfuckers get cheated on too. It is what it is. Part of the game. Love ain't for the weak. I'll say that, bro. Love ain't for the weak. Relationships ain't for the weak, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you got to work through that shit. Now, there's a lot of these niggas out here bitches. Like, dog, tighten up, man. It happens. We all been there. Yeah. Pussy so good, made me throw up the sack. Side, nigga, bro. Open your mouth a certain width. While you say set, nigga, you shouldn't be saying that shit, bro. Like, he couldn't even, his mouth formation didn't even make sense when he said that shit, nigga. Like, bro, your teeth too far apart. Saying set, nigga, stop the shit, bro. Crazy.
I'm generally anti-AI, but like, I feel like if you sub out Bruno Mars for Nate Dogg R.I.P., I feel like I like that song 10,000 times more.
Nate Dogg? R.I.P., you feel me?
Yes.
Slap.
Yeah. It probably turns into a song I listen to 500 times.
No, what's that? Is that a baritone? What's that? A baritone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
With that vibe, talking crazy, like it made sense when I'm talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because he from that. You feel me? Like, bro. And yeah, Nate Dogg might have thrown the setup for real. It might have really happened, nigga. I don't know. You feel me? Like,
yeah.
It's a totally different vibe.
All right. We can never miss a chance to ask someone where their family is. And I don't know if y'all saw the headline in New York Magazine. It says 4 years after their split, Bill Gates is now saying that his divorce from Melinda French Gates is, quote, the mistake I most regret.
Ooh.
All those billions, brother.
Oh.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't realize
where's
they
your
were
family?
divorced.
I know that they're divorced because Melinda Gates has donated, like, she formed a foundation to spend that man's money, and she has made so many lives better. And she gave our city college like $100 million.
Dude, Mrs. Gates and Mrs. Bezos really doing God's work.
Yeah, running it up. You feel me? I don't need all this shit. I love that, bro.
That is a real where's your family, though, damn.
Hey, but if you're with a guy or a girl and y'all poor but happy, think about Bill Gates. Think about Shaq was talking about sitting alone in a big ass mansion, bro. Like,
oh, that shit. Ooh. The thing with me is like,
if you're poor and happy and you're with someone that loves you and you love them,
you happy. Which
don't let every other thing you see today, every other commercial or thing on social media is going to tell you you don't have enough. You have enough. And Bill Gates wishes he was you.
Bro, it's just, but the thing is like going through the process of a divorce and then at 4 years later regretting, like, that's such an irreversible thing. You know what I mean? Like, you're just going to have to sit with this shit. Like, that's and it's a thing that didn't have to happen, that you made a decision to take part in. Like, that's crazy. And
I do think she left him.
That's what the chat is saying, and the chat is also saying there are rumors that he was cheating, which again, allegedly.
Maybe that's what he's regretting.
Maybe that's what he's regretting, but I don't allegedly.
Hey man, he was too old for all that, bro. That's a problem with it. That's a problem with, like, it's the same shit with Elon. It's a problem with a certain type of person getting all the money and everything. You know what I mean?
Bro,
like,
if you ain't never sniffed it before and all of a sudden you got money and it's thrown at you, you don't know how to move. And then you do dumb shit, like somebody who's been there and loves you for real. Now you on some fuck shit. And also too, bro, like, even
and she had to hire a staff. She got so much of your money, she had to hire a staff to give it away, bro.
Crazy. and she deserved it though.
Hell
she
yeah,
with your goofy ass. You on that bullshit, nigga? Run hers, please. Fuck you mean?
And she's doing a lot with it too. You know what I mean? She's not just all right. Bill Gates, where's your family, bro?
Where's your family, bro? Dude, where's your family, Bill? Damn, man, that's sad. Fuck. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him for sure. John, you haven't seen One of Them Days yet, right?
Not yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, I want to wait to talk about it so you see it. You gotta go see it, bro.
Okay.
So you and Rodney gotta go see it.
Yeah. We'll try to make it. I think Friday we're gonna do something. So like, it might be next week. But
we're gonna,
Friday
you know
we
what
got,
Shar
like,
and
a
I are
little
doing date night?
situation. What's
We're
up?
watching Roy Wood's new special on Friday night. We'll put the kids
Fire.
down early. You know, got the Postmates coming. Because then on Saturday, we're taking the kids to see Dog Man. You feel me?
Half dog, half man. I saw the. It's very simple. The
Dog Man is
promotions for
actually,
it.
those are actually like my favorite books that I read to the kids. They're all
Okay.
beautiful. John, like you'll be crying. Like it's like Bluey. It's like
Okay,
but like
okay.
goofier. It's
Yeah,
super
yeah.
goofy. But yeah, like when I saw it's
Might
the same
cop a
dude who
couple for
did Captain
someday.
Underpants. It's the same guy who wrote
Okay.
Captain Underpants.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like when we read the first book, like it's like a cop gets blown up and a dog gets run over by a car, and they're like, well, we got the cop's body and we got the dog's head. Let's just like stitch them together.
Just RoboCop this nigga.
That's what it is. And I was like, oh, they made a movie out of it. That's fucking incredible. But yeah,
That's more fun than that promo. I just saw like a billboard,
yeah.
half dog, half man. I didn't know it was literally half dog, half man. You
Yeah,
know
with
what I
the
mean?
stitch marks on his neck and shit. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You go see one of them days. We talk about it on Sunday for sure.
For
But
sure,
we,
man.
yeah.
For sure.
Jackson, you liked it?
Loved it.
It was an old school theater experience, man.
Very
I
old.
didn't know that type of it just like, aside from the fact that it's obviously black as fuck, that it was just like seeing an R-rated comedy in a full movie theater. I literally don't know the last time. And that's Shar and I, that's what we like. That was what we liked, was going to movies like that. And they just don't exist really. So yeah, it's for like 10 different reasons. Everyone needs to see that movie and support it. Please, please, please.
We were talking about that like a couple months ago. We're like, dude,
Yes.
does that experience exist? Like, is a nigga saying, what are those? Like, in the crowd laughing, you know, in a horror film, a horror comedy type situation? Like, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
And shouts to
What
SZA
happened?
being the first person ever, I believe, to have the #1 song and the #1 movie in the same week.
She's so good in the movie too.
She's so good. It's crazy. It's her first time like really acting.
She's
Cool,
like,
cool.
yes, it's crazy.
She kills it.
Yeah.
Some of
I've also
favorite
been really
songs is
enjoying all
Drive off of SZA's album.
What's that?
She be sing. She has a song called Drive on SZA's album,
Yeah.
and somebody be like, just like singing in the backyard, back in the back seat, like. It's so sweet. Oh my god, it's so sweet.
I love that.
Anyway, but yeah,
Yeah, y'all go.
so-
Yeah, y'all go do a date night, bro. Bring your kids here. Drop the kids off
We
here.
do a
if you-
date
if you
day
need to-
on Fridays. We do
Okay.
a date day, like the kids drop the kids off type situation. You know what I'm saying?
I was not, but I can.
You might need to see it at like 9 p.m. though, dog.
I know, but that's true. But maybe I can do that separate.
yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But I want to see this. Whatever.
Bring your
think
kids
getting
over here. I
a-
could occupy your kids for 2 hours.
Okay, for sure, nigga. All right, nigga. You get a hold of a little chunky baby too. Shit. Also, he likes to like most kids will push off when you do the like little.
Yeah.
He just leans in and smiles. He's like,
Man, he and I already locked in, bro. I got that
Yeah.
fart out of him when we were over at your place.
Oh
that
my
part that
God.
came out of his throat, nigga. He put it out of his mouth. That's how good that burp was, nigga. That motherfucker. It looked like you can
His
see his
lips
lips
were-
fucking quivering, bro. You know what I mean? Crazy.
All right. That's all the time we got. We'll be back on Thursday morning. Hope everyone's week is off to a good start. We'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.